So hello guys, welcome back to this channel. For some reason, you have registered your business, you might also want to deregister that same business. Now, I've seen a situation whereby some people register a business early in the year and after 2-3 months, they notice that maybe the business idea is no longer functional or they want to just change or they don't want to use that particular registration anymore. In this video, I'll be telling you or giving you a guide on how you can deregister an already registered company with Corporate Affairs Commission. So the first thing you want to know is that before I even start giving you details, have you actually subscribed to this channel? There's that subscription button. Click on that subscription button, give it a thumbs up, and then let's go into the video. So the first thing you want to know is that you must have a genuine reason for closing up the business. The reason for your closing of the business has to do with either maybe you're winding up or maybe you are no longer interested in the business, or the business is no longer profitable and then you are folding up, right? So whatever the reason is, there are different processes to it. So now let's say for a business name that registration that you want to close, now you must first decide that you want to actually discontinue the business, and you are actually discontinuing the business. That means, okay, maybe NRS reach out to you that, Oga, please, we want you to pay tax, and you feel like, come on, I've not been actually making money with this business. Why do you guys want me to pay tax and all? Now you're already putting yourself into a lot of issues, right? You register this business before now. Now the word I'm supposed to use is not deregister. It's supposed to be winding off, right? You're supposed to make sure you remove this particular company earlier before now. But when NRS come to you and you now want to remove the company, that is not the right path to go, right? So now you must make sure that all your annual return with the Corporate Affairs Commission for that particular business name or company now is cleared. So if the business was registered 2 years ago, you must make sure that the annual return that are pending on it with the CAC is cleared until then, before you can now talk about the registering. Also, all your tax that you need to pay, that is with the NRS, not because NRS reached out to you to pay your tax and then you want to delete or deregister or withdraw the registration. No, that will not work. So all those things and your necessary obligation must be cleared before you go ahead to register the company. Now, the next thing you also want to do, you want to file a notice of cessation of business. But this cannot be done by an individual. It has to be done by an accredited agent with the Corporate Affairs Commission. So you have to reach out to us to help you walk through the process of ceasing or cessation of the particular company. And there's a fee allotted to that. But meanwhile, don't forget, like I said before, you must make sure your annual returns are back. Then you wait for a confirmation period and then it will be approved. Now, second part is that everything I mentioned now was for a business name. Now, for a company, there are different options that you have. The first one is that you can carry out a voluntary strike off of the company. Now, a company that is no longer maybe carrying out business, or maybe they are no longer interested in running the business for one reason or the other, and the reason has to basically be around you voluntarily not interested in that business. Maybe you are doing agriculture and you're no longer interested in doing agriculture, you want to go into some other business and you want to strike off that particular business, then you want to do the first option, which is striking off. Now, this is the process. You actually need to pass a resolution with the board of directors, right? So that the closing off or the winding off will be approved, or the voluntary strike off rather will be approved. You need to obtain consent from all the shareholders. So if you are not the only shareholder, you need to get consent of all the shareholders, those that have contributed money for you to start the business. I believe you understand. So please settle any outstanding debt or any obligation. So if you are supposed to pay people their money, please clear all that first before you go ahead and do striking off. Not that because you did a business with somebody and at the end of the day they are now pursuing you for their 10 million or 15 million naira. So you must make sure that you cover all the outstanding debts and obligations. So you need to reach out to us, then we can now file for you for voluntary strike off of the company, right? And thereafter, since you publish it that okay, this company has been delisted and all. Now, the second option is to wind up the company. That is liquidation. That's why I was trying to be careful that I will not mix voluntary strike off and winding up together. Winding up has to do with liquidation. That means company has significant assets, creditors, or resolved liability, so it may need to undergo voluntary or court supervised winding up. That means that you no longer have opportunity to run the business. You are no longer profitable. You are maybe in a lot of debts and all, and you can no longer operate. Or maybe the court, due to some different court issues and all, court gives an injunction for the company to be strike off. Then in those situations, you need to carry that out. So during liquidation, a liquidator is appointed. So if you are liquidating the company, somebody will be standing as a liquidator. The company assets are identified and also realized. Creditors are paid. So you say that for every situation, you have to pay your creditors, right? The remaining assets are distributed to the shareholders. Sell everything out by the liquidator will carry out. The company is dissolved after completion of the process. So the steps, I'll not bore you with the steps. The steps is just number one. You see our WhatsApp link in the description. So just send us a message. I will send you the list of everything you need to supply so that I can start the process of your winding off and all. So what actually happens when a CAC registration is deregistered? Now, business and the company is removed from the official CAC website. That's one. And then that business is no longer an entity, right, that can carry out business. So once that business that has been deregistered is seen carrying out business, you could get into loads of problems, right? So you can no longer carry out any business, and directors and owners are relieved of any burden or any responsibility to carry out activities for that particular business. So that is just what it means to deregister company. So do well to send us a DM. The link to our WhatsApp will be in the description. Send a message to us right now so that we can work on that. My name is Akinbola Ezekiel. I'm going to see you in the next video. Subscribe to this channel. I'll see you. Thank you.